Well, Arsenal fan, welcome to Chome Sports News Chanel. Don't forget to subscribe our Chanel. Saka outstanding, Havertz defiant, Ramsdale disappointing, Arsenal. Season player ratings. There are just 10 Premier League games remaining this season and things are looking pretty positive for Arsenal right now. The Gunners sit top of a thrilling three-way title race ahead of Manchester City and Liverpool. They are also into the Champions League quarterfinals for the first time in 14 years, where they'll play Bayern Munich. Despite all the positives for the team as a whole, there have been some more mixed seasons individually for the Gunners. Here Football.London takes a look at how each player has got on so far. David Raya. It was far from a smooth beginning for David Raya. That Chelsea performance sticks in the memory, and so does a tricky outing against Manchester City at home. After betting in, though, the Spaniard has been transformational between the sticks for Arsenal. He is a huge part of why the Gunners have been so dominant and has now added penalty shootout heroics to his skill set. 8. Aaron Ramsdale. He was not helped by how Arteta handled Raya's introduction to the squad, but it's been a bad season for Ramsdale so far. He may well have played his last game for Arsenal already and has done little to suggest he deserves his starting spot back in limited appearances since losing it. 4. Jurrien Timber. Excitement is high for the role the Dutch international may have to play in the final part of the season. He was impressive in pre-season and can hopefully reach those levels once again between now and May. Cedric. One suspects that if Timber hadn't have got his long-term injury, then Cedric would have struggled to make a single appearance for Arsenal this season. His time in North London is over after a mixed 4-year stay. 5. Ben White. This has probably been the best season of Ben White's career. Not only is he defensively excellent at fullback, but he is becoming a real threat in the final third too. Despite being more or less Arsenal's only right back for almost the entire season, he has shown his dependability time and again. 8. Takahiro Tomiyasu. Another disappointingly injury-hit season for the Japan international. Just before his latest calf problem at the start of December, he was building up a good run of form, so we'll judge him favorably on that. The shortness of his contract extension shows some of the reservations the club hierarchy has, though. 7. William Saliba. Maybe the best center-back in the league this season. Picked up exactly where he left off before getting injured last season. So consistent for someone so young, and relentlessly imperious in the biggest of games. He'll hope to keep up his superb individual record against Erling Haaland on Sunday. 9. Gabriel. One of the only candidates who can challenge Saliba for the title of best defender in the Premier League this year. Strange to think that he was out of the side at the start. Gabriel has bounced back superbly and is one of the most important players Arsenal have in both boxes. 9. Jakub Kiwior. Struggled in the early part of the season when playing a bit-part role. Didn't help that he was constantly changing position either. Since getting a consistent run in the side at left back, though, the Pole has looked really impressive and is arguably first choice in a position where he began the season as third pick. 8. Oleksandr Zinchenko. After revolutionizing the fullback position last season, Zinchenko's flaws have been a little more apparent this time around. He's been dogged by injuries, which hasn't helped, but defensive frailty has been a real problem. He hasn't been terrible, but far from his consistently excellent displays last season. 6. Thomas Partey. A really disappointing season so far for the Ghanaian. Doubts over his future have only grown louder with his ongoing struggles to stay fit. The hope will have to be now that he can have an important role to play having finally got fit. We've been here before though. 5. Mohamed Elneny. Elneny's main goal coming into the season was to get fit again. He's done that and is still a popular member of the Arsenal dressing room. That hasn't translated into too many appearances on the pitch, though, and not enough to give him a rating. Jorginho. If he hadn't won over doubters last season, Jorginho certainly has done so this time around. The Italian's experience and composure has been vital in big games so far, and is likely to be vital in the run-in. 8. Declan Rice has genuinely made the £105 million fee look a steal. Be it in the 6 or the 8, Rice has been consistently sublime to the extent that you're scratching your head to think of a bad game he's had. Slotted in right in at the top level and solidified his status as one of the best midfielders in Europe. 9. Fabio Vieira. The season started positively for Vieira, who was impressive at Everton and almost helped single-handedly secure a comeback against Fulham. He's tailed off massively since, and has been unfortunate to pick up a groin injury that required him to miss nearly 4 months. After failing to convince last year, though, it's been a disappointing second season for the 23-year-old. 5. Emile Smith-Rowe. Another frustratingly stop-start season for Smith-Rowe. He's deserved more of a chance than he's got, particularly in games where Arsenal have been trailing. Unfortunate injuries have slowed down the chance for any momentum to build. The hope is that he can still have a key role in the back end of the campaign. 6. Martin Odegaard. Probably the best player in the Premier League this season. At the heart of everything good Arsenal have done. Since shaking off his hip and concussion issues around November, he has been sublime. Symbolic of the hunger this group have to win something. 9. Kai Havertz. Took a while to get going, but those inside the club never lost faith. Now reliable and impressive performer, whether it's in midfield or up front. Looks to have rediscovered his confidence and is on course to hit double figures for just the second time in English football. 8. Bukayo Saka. The numbers that Saka puts up despite being 22 are sublime. The only younger player to have more goals and assists in Europe's top 5 leagues is Jude Bellingham. Constantly ramping up his end product, he has taken on the burden of being the poster boy for this Arsenal project with aplomb. 9. Reiss Nelson. Even after the high of Bournemouth last year, it was a surprise to see Reiss Nelson stay. He has been decent in some cameos, but has never done enough to trouble a place in the first team. 6. Gabriel Martinelli. Far from his prolific best this season, and that will be a matter of disappointment, no doubt. Arguably a compliment, though, given how much defenders feel the need to double up on him. Still crucial in the biggest of matches for Arsenal, and could be vital in the run-in. 7. Leandro Trossard, a crucial squad player. Impressive off the bench, where he is one of the best difference makers in the world. Has done a decent job in various different positions when called upon to fill in as well. Has raised the overall level of the group since his arrival undoubtedly. 7. Eddie Nketiah. The campaign started promisingly for Nketiah, with an England call-up followed by a stunning hat-trick against Sheffield United. In 2024, though, he has barely had a sniff. Given Jesus' injury problems, that's a real disappointment for the 24-year-old, whose future surely lies away from the Emirates Stadium. 5. Gabriel Jesus. In the Champions League, Jesus has been outstanding. Equally, when he's been available for the grittier and bigger games, he's been crucial. Sadly, those occasions have been few and far between. It's been hard to regularly rely on the Brazilian, whose injury record has been frustrating. 6. Thanks for visiting us, and don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment.